Hey, it's me again, Graham Cooper here from Cooper & Cooper Investment Property Solutions. I had a bit of a laugh today because I had some comments about some of my other videos, and someone made a remark that said, Jesus, do you ever get changed? You seem to be wearing the same clothes all the time. So, yeah, I guess what people don't understand is that often when the opportunity presents itself, of course, I make a series of videos, consecutively all at the same time. Over a period of maybe an hour or so. So obviously I'm wearing the same clothes. I don't get changed for every video. But anyway, here we go. That's life, isn't it? It's quite amusing sometimes. Okay, today I wanted to talk about other aspects of property investment. Another important part that is often overlooked is in relation to insurances. It's so important, when you're making an investment like a property investment, that it's a considerable commitment, and probably, as they say, one of the biggest investments you ever make in your life is obviously your own home, or your investment property. It's a lot of money, going out, and you want to make sure that that you are protected and covered accordingly. So of course, we have to look at things like the number one thing, of course, is building insurance. So as soon as you exchange on your property and the property is nearing completion, you need to be talking to your relevant insurer. Probably the person, if you already own property, you've already got building insurance, and you've probably got contents insurance and the like. And most of them come with some public liability as well. So in terms of insurances, it's very important that you have your property insured, so that at the time of settlement, the property physically and legally becomes yours, and there's a transfer of ownership, of course, that you are covered. And so you need to talk to your favourite, I suppose, insurance company about that aspect of it. Always bear in mind that whenever you're spending money for your investment property, this is, generally speaking, that it is a tax deductible component, and that's very important as well. And you'll recall from the days when we did our spreadsheet for you, in that very first step of the 5-step process, that we do a feasibility, and of course we factor into that insurance. Lots of insurances. If the property is a Torrens title, then it's certainly the building insurance, for you are the sole owner of the land and the dwelling or improvements on that land. And so that's very important, and even more specifically when the property is a strata title property, meaning that it may be an apartment, it may be a townhouse in a project of a number of townhouses, and therefore there's a body corporate, and you will be committing to maintenance of the general project itself, the whole maybe 10 or 20 townhouses or apartments. You're paying a body corporate fee, which is usually on a monthly or quarterly basis, depending on the property managers involved. And bear in mind, as I said, that all these outgoings are tax deductible. And again, that is all covered in that first stage of our 5-step process, where we talk about the feasibility of this. So when we do our spreadsheet, we factor in all of these costs, and that's very important for your peace of mind, that you really know, and you're in control in the sense that you know what your financial obligations are. In those early days, I remember that it seemed common practice, and I guess it is still today, that that within your circle of influence, once you start looking at your desire to purchase a property, you're probably going to talk to your friends about it, and certainly your close circle of best friends, and they're going to have an opinion. And it's not uncommon for you to get a call, unexpected, from one of your friends who says, Oh my God, you're going to do what? You're going to borrow $500,000, and you're going to go and buy this property that's not just in your same street, it's in another town, and and what if you don't get a tenant, and how are you going to manage that? You can't afford that. How are you going to pay a second mortgage? Well, you're going to be very comfortably confident to be able to say to them, well, listen, Joe, or listen, Helen, it's all okay. You see, we sat down with Graham from Cooper & Cooper Investment Property Solutions. We had a long chat. We did a feasibility, and Graham even did a spreadsheet. So we saw all the figures, we ran the numbers, and we know exactly to the dollar what our outgoings and liability is. And let me tell you, Joe, Helen, whatever the case may be, you'll be surprised to know that actually this property is actually not going to cost us anything. In fact, our mortgage will be paid. So between the tenancy, the rent that's coming in, and our tax deductions from the wonderful ATO, our property is fully paid for. And guess what? It even puts an extra $20 a week into our bank account. Now, I'm just generalizing here, so don't take me literally word for word, but typically that's the case. We are in a time in this country with interest rates, and this is not just in this country, but of course globally, where interest rates are at an all-time low. And I can tell you that quite confidently that there is another interest rate reduction coming. And it's probably going to be in June 2019. And there will be more to follow. And one of the reasons being is that we, in fact, in Australia have one of the highest interest rates in the world, even at 1.5% base rate. So what a fantastic opportunity to get into property when the interest rates are so low. And we have the ability through our spreadsheet that we can manipulate that